a tough loss to Hannibal. You guys were hanging in there in the first half, and just where do you think kind of things went wrong in that second half?
I don't know that things went wrong as much as we played a quality opponent. You're right that the score was tied just a couple seconds before halftime. Our boys played incredibly hard. We played a quality opponent. I think we're not in the business of comparisons, but if we did compare to our two games with them last year, we've made tremendous progress because last year, quite frankly, the games weren't very competitive. And like I mentioned, we were tied just a couple seconds before halftime. We just have to try to take care of some of the smaller things that are turning into big things for us.
Guys are being led at the quarterback position this year by junior Jacob Wilson. What have you seen out of him since the season started?
Tremendous growth from the beginning of the summer until now. I think the beauty with Jacob is he's such a good kid, such a good young man that there's no reason why that growth won't continue. He's going to get better and better, and we will continue to grow as a team.
When I came to practice over the summer, we touched on you looking for that dominant voice in your team after losing a big senior class last season. Have you seen anybody throughout the summer and into the start of this season kind of step up into that role?
I think that it depends on the situation. I think that we have some verbal leaders and some other kids that lead by example. And I think it depends on the situation and what we're dealing with at the time.
We also talked, you have a few young players that are stepping up into bigger roles. Anybody in particular that you've been surprised by so far?
I think it's too early to tell just right now because, again, we're going to have a significant amount of challenges in the road ahead. I can say that we have 94 boys on the roster right now and still only about 12 seniors. So while the numbers have grown astronomically in the football program, we're still pretty young. And that's why I have total faith that we're going to continue to learn and grow. I do think it's sort of cool that now it seems that it matters that we didn't win. When I got here last year, when we didn't win a game, that was kind of the expectation. So nobody batted an eye, and now people expect us to be able to compete with a team that played for a state title last year. You know, we've won 7 of our last 10. And the 3 times we didn't get it done in our last 10 games were to teams that all played in state championship games.
What kind of growth did you see in this team? Obviously, it was a tough loss last week, but just from week 1 to week 2, and that you're looking to continue to build on leading up to this Friday with Rockbridge.
I think we grew in a number of areas. I do think we tackled better, and it might not have seemed like it. The opponent was a little bit different. And we struggled the first week with like being physical. I think because we are young, sometimes we struggle to focus our attention where it should be focused. And I do feel like we're growing in that area, especially at home on Friday night, because man, you know, the score aside, what a cool environment. When people talk about Jay Pride, all you had to do was be present last Friday night at Atkins Stadium, and it was pretty neat, pretty special.
I definitely saw it out there for sure. Leading up to this Friday with Rockbridge, obviously you guys are both 1-1, so this is kind of the determining factor on who will get that advantage a little bit. What are some challenges that you think leading up to this Friday the team might face?
I think the challenges are that we're playing a quality opponent that's very well coached. People tend to forget that Jefferson City High School is about 1,200 kids now. It's less than half the size it used to be. We're the only Class 4 school in the CMAC. So I think the challenge is we're playing a school that's almost double the size of us, and they're well coached. So it's going to be a huge task, but it's one we signed up for, and we look forward to it.
I know you said the guys are a little ticked off about the loss, which is good. How do you keep those spirits up going into next week to kind of get them back where they need to be?
I think we compartmentalize that this week is the most important week. Next week, that'll be the most important week. So again, one of the neat things about Missouri is that we're building and improving and looking forward to the postseason. So I certainly don't want to say that the regular season doesn't matter, but all of this is an opportunity to learn and grow and become the best version of this particular team we can be.